Hello, folks. How y'all doing today? I want to converse with the uh, positive, forward-looking people amongst the majority population who are willing to have adult conversations in a calm, rational manner about one, what we're going to do to shut down this iron control of political correctness over our media, our academia, and frankly, a great number of our people's internal thoughts and their souls to be real. One, what we're going to do to help bring people who have been deceived by PC back to the light so that they will feel that it is okay to oppose diversity, to oppose being tolerant of this barbarism which PC is imposing on us. Okay? And thus, so that this majority of people will be best able to organize as a group against mass immigration and keep our land as ours, with us as the majority, and our way of life, our laws, and, us here. Now that's what I'm about here. Now there will be the left wing people who will call me a Nazi and all of the rest of this. And what I have to say to you is you are a communist. You are outright a red communist deceiver. And no one in their right mind trusts any of you. So, the very fact is that National Socialism, Adolf Hitler, and the rest have nothing to do with the key core principle at stake here, folks, that a unique majority of people, a unique people, period, have a right to national self-determination. And if minorities have this right, then so do the majorities. And considering that white folks in the world are only something like 8% of the world's population, if blacks have the right to national self-determination in Africa, why not us? Now, of course, the response of the West, of the liberals and the communists, the PC liberals and communists, is white guilt and white privilege. Well, they're poppycock. They're a lie. And what needs to be done is more people need to have the control of these lies over their brain split open so that the real pearl of truth, that they have a right to stick up for themselves, to stick up for their other people like themselves. They have a right to like people like themselves more and better and greater than others. Okay? They have a right to want to keep barbarism and the third world out of their schools, out of their neighborhoods, out of their homes, away from their women, away from their jobs, out of their lands. And most of all, they have a right and an obligation to themselves to be proud of who they are and to not allow PC to make them crawl through the mud and grovel and feel ashamed and guilty and dirty and worthless all the time. This is not good, and it cannot be allowed to stand. And frankly, my view is that by enough calm application of the same basic conditioning psychological techniques that PC liberal modernity has used to brainwash these people, we can bring them out of that fold and bring them back to reality. We can simply make them realize that the concept of universal humanity, as though there's some total equality of all humans, is simply a lie. It's a lie. There is a definite hierarchy, and that's how it is. Some are better, some are worse, some are in the middle, some in the bottom. And this has nothing to do with anything, but it's still the truth. Whether or not you should care about your people has nothing to do with where they are in this. That's irrelevant. You should care about yourself no matter what, you see, because they're yours. There it is. Then there's other simple realities. Men and women are not utterly interchangeable. This is kooky. It's simply anti-biological, anti-empirical nonsense. It's gibberish. It's a religion of sorts. It's a false faith. It's a heretical cult, but there it is. There's a hundred other ones. You know, uh, why does it matter if say Mexicans replace us? Well, it's all the difference between Iowa and central Mexico. Yeah, okay. You know, the only difference between Angola and South Africa is that South Africa was founded by Europeans, and Angola, um, well, blacks don't do real good at governments. The Portuguese, when it was ran by them, it was decent. But again, you know, anyone who wants to deny these facts, I mean, I can slap you sideways with them. Now, of course, the PC sorts won't. They'll simply say, "Oh, look at him. He's obviously a Nazi, a racist. He hates people. Ooh, he kicks dogs. He hates cats." Oh no, no, no. Ooh, gassings, and all this other nonsense, right? But the reality is none of that's really the truth. The truth is I view most people outside of my circle of people as unworthy of my feelings, neither my love or my hate. They're simply not really important enough to me to have emotions about. Now, what they are is they are a material manifest threat to my people's biological survival in their own territory. Now, that's what they are. Cold, point blank, logical, there it is. Okay, that's empirical, natural reality. Um, the Nazi thing, again, I wasn't born in the National Socialist state. What do you want? What do you want me to say? You know. Of course, by Nazi, these chump, politically correct people mean anyone who believes in efficient leadership, in effective government, in proper application of laws directly without a bunch of lawyer squabbling, as though these lawyers at these courthouses produce more justice than, say, random darts thrown at a board, And again, these leftists are confused. They are deluded and silly. Um, the very fact is that I'm doing this, and well, everything I've done, all the essays, all the other videos before I had this web camera, because I care about my people, and I want us to keep our majority over our lands, keep our unique way of life, keep our laws, keep our customs, for each and every one of you to keep your homes, keep your jobs, have safe places for your families, for your children, good schools, right? I know, sort of ideally, I'm kind of an idealist, romanticist. Yeah, in a way, I would like to see that Norman Rockwell, little small town America come back, Main Street America, right? What do you want me to say? Call me a dreamer. But that's why I'm here, not because I, hate people or want to round people up or anything. So this is, sometimes in the pursuit of what you care about, you must do things to defend it, but that's a little bit different than hating people and being driven by your, it's simply not the same. And again, my feeling is that if people, when they're confronted with these accusations, these are pretty, what I've just said, these are standard accusations, you're a Nazi, you hate people. When they call you a racist, so what? So was God. If God made the racist, God was racist. If nature made the racist, nature was racist, because trying to pretend that there's all this biological difference between the races, and there's a huge amount. The idea, these social scientists, these PC biology scientists are lying. They're lying. They're lying. You can take holotypes and group them with certain races really easily, just like you can take skull measurements, bone measurements, and group them. I mean, this is a little more than skin color here. And nature didn't just create this, or God, or however you believe it came into existence, just happenstance. It's because the darks are fitted, based a bit more better, to a tropical environment. Whites to a cooler environment. The Asians are actually best fitted to a really cold environment. These are basic biological differences, To pretend they don't exist it's delusional, and it requires one to exercise some kind of Orwellian doublethink that I won't engage in. I simply won't do it. It'd be a lie. It'd be weak to say this, And so on it goes with much else, when say PC people say diversity is our strength. No, it's not. You have a ship in the middle of the ocean. It has 100 sailors. All the sailors speak the same language. They all understand where each other's at, and they have a common set of beliefs. A storm comes, the ship survives because they all band together and they work well together. They can understand each other and they know what each other is about. You have a ship with 100 sailors on it. They each speak a different language. They have no cultural commonalities at all. A storm comes. Well, they all break down into individuals, get scared, break, try to flee their stations, and the ship will sink. You know, multicultural, multi-polyglot empires always shatter at the first little prick of a pin, because the very fact is that people only feel affinity to people most like themselves. All of this love around the world, that's just a few liberals believe that, and in fact they lie about believing it so they can front it around like some sort of great talisman to prove how much white guilt they have and how worthy they are of the love of the colored people and whatnot, because the fact is they look down on the colored people as much as anyone else. They simply won't admit to the fact. You see, I want to be away from all of these barbarians and they don't even raid, but the liberals like being, the mommy that helps them out. This gives them power over them, you see, and they'll never admit that. But again, back to the main point, people. We, normal, adult, calm folks, in the right wing, the tradition, the populist, sphere of influence in the Anglo countries, can bring this mental, spiritual state in our people's minds and hearts back around to our way. It will come that way anyway. It's already swinging in our direction, and there's no reason we can't add momentum to it and help it. But to do that, this image of the screaming, boot stomping, that has to go. Okay? Normal people dressed in normal clothes, just saying normal things to each other, And with that, if you want back your price of admission, I'm sure I can find some lint somewhere around here for you. Y'all take care now.